Hello, my wonderful students. How are you? I hope you guys are safe and snug in your homes and ready to do some art. I miss you all so much and I wish I could be with you. But we're going to do a really fun project today that's going to be a continuation of the artist that we learned about in my last lesson. I always like to do lessons that are more than one lesson on an artist so that we can really get to know the artist, because most artists work in more than one subject area or more than one medium, and a really good way to understand and get to know an artist is to do more than one project around the artist's interests and using that artist as inspiration. So today we're going to continue with Henry Rousseau. And last time we talked about Henry Rousseau, and we had read this book a little while ago, and we created jungle pictures using watercolor and oil pastel, which is called resist painting. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about today about the artist Henry Rousseau is that Henry Rousseau actually never visited a real live jungle. That all of his jungle paintings that he created, and this is one that we had looked at last time, all of his paintings that he created were from his imagination. So the good news is that even though we're kind of stuck in our houses right now, we can use our imaginations like Henry Rousseau and create amazing jungle-inspired art. So today, for our jungle-inspired art, we're going to be creating a stuffed jungle animal. It can be any type of jungle animal that you want, and you'll be able to use materials that you have right in your home. So the first thing you need are 2 pieces of 8x10 paper, okay? You can use any kind of paper. It shouldn't be too thick, but go ahead and put one piece of paper right behind the other. And then what you're going to do is you're going to draw your jungle animal. There are a lot of different types of jungle animals. I used a parrot. You could do a parrot. You could do a frog. You could do a snake. It's up to you. But the most important thing to remember is you need to make it thick, because you're going to be cutting it out. And if it's too skinny in certain parts, when you cut it, it's going to break or rip. So let's say I was making I think I'm going to do a snake. I'm going to make my jungle snake. Nice. I'm going to make it a fat snake because I have to make it fat. Otherwise, he's going to break. Now, once I make my shape, the next thing I'm going to do is, keeping my paper one behind the other, I'm going to cut it out. So I'm going to cut right on top of my line. Now, if you feel more comfortable drawing in pencil first so that you can erase, absolutely do that. You don't have to draw it with black Sharpie. But cut it out. We'll go to the other side. And we'll go right. Sometimes it's challenging to keep the 2 pieces of paper together. Don't forget, when you're cutting, you want to turn your paper while you cut. It will really help you get around those corners and curves, especially if you have a very curvy snake, like this one. He's very curvy. Okay. Now, once I have my curvy snake, the next part is I'm going to color it. When you color, you can use markers, you can use colored pencils. It's up to you. I used markers for my parrot because they're really bright. If you want a softer look, you can use colored pencils. So you want to go ahead. Now, a lot of snakes have patterns. It can be a real pattern or an imaginary one. Since Henry Rousseau used his imagination for a lot of things, I don't even need to look at a real snake to decide what I want to do on my snake. I'm going to just make it up, and it is okay. Don't even worry about it. I'm going to make a little eye, and I think I'm going to do some polka dots in my snake. You know why? Because he's my snake. I can make him look however I want. And that's the great thing about art, is that you get to make the decisions as the artist to create things as you like them. There's no right or wrong. Do you want to make a little smile on your snake? Go ahead and make a little smile on your snake. After you color it, flip it over and do the other side. The other side does not need to be the same. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe you want to do the same colors in a different pattern. Maybe you want to do different colors. It's totally up to you. Okay. And he's got another eye on the other side. Okay. Now comes the part where you're going to stuff him. When you stuff your snake, have a grown-up help you, if you need the help, to staple. You're going to staple one side of your snake and create kind of like a pocket. Okay? So one side, you're going to go right down the edge of your whatever kind of animal it is, or reptile. A snake is actually a reptile. But you want to kind of stick to the edge and create a pocket. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So do you see that? Where one side is opened and one side isn't. Because you're going to stuff it. When you stuff your animal, you want to stuff it with newspaper. Newspaper is a great stuff. You might have to tear it a little bit and smush it, smush it, smush it. Kind of in the shape of where you're going to be tucking it. You're going to tuck it inside the pocket. So open your snake and tuck it in there. And I'm stuffing the head, and then I'm going to staple it here. You can always go back over with a stapler at the very end. There, another little piece. Smush it, smush it, smush it, smush it. Use your hand muscles, use those muscles, and squish, 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 squish. Open your little snake pocket and stuff it in there. Just like that. You don't need a ton. If you feel you want more, add a little more. And what you're going to do is you're going to stuff your whole animal, okay? And then once you stuff it, you're going to staple it together as you go. So you're going to stuff a little part, staple. If your animal is kind of one big shape like this, you can staple around the simple edge. And when it's open, put the newspaper inside, stuff it, and staple around the other edge. You can also add embellishments. I added some feathers to my parrot, and I also, just using a staple, stapled a little string to it as well, so that I could hang it. But it's up to you. So I hope you enjoyed this little rainforest art project, and I will see you soon with our next project. Take care. Bye.